Hi friends, Carly here. I'm going to talk to you today about our fridge fundamental set, and it really is an essential collection in absolutely every fridge. These products are going to save you the most space, waste, time and money. So it really is an investment when you have these products in your kitchen, because they will save you time and money every single day. So I'm going to start with our Vent Smart collection, and you'll notice that there's lots of different sizes here. So we have this part here as well. And so there's a size for really everything that you purchase. So our Vent Smart's designed for all of your fruits and vegetables. And when you come home from the supermarket or the market and you pop them into here, what they're going to do is they're going to extend the life of your fruits and vegetables by double or often triple what you would normally get out of them if they were in the crisper down the bottom of your fridge. So the way that these work are really special. And you'll notice that on the front here there is a pictogram. Now this picture is actually embedded in the plastic, so it's in mould labelling, so even after 50 years in a dishwasher, that's never going to come off. And so you just follow the instructions on the front depending on what you're putting in here. What we know is that all fruits and vegetables breathe at a different rate and produce gas at a different rate. So if they're all in their plastic bags in the crisper down the bottom of the fridge, they're actually fighting each other for the right environment, and they spoil quicker than they should. When you pop your fruits and vegetables into here and you follow the instructions, it means that they're now in their perfect environment, and it means that they're going to last a lot longer. So you do end up using everything that you purchase. So if you're the sort of person that normally empties the crisper into the bin on shopping day and starts again, then these are going to save you a lot of money. Because when you purchase something and you don't get to use it all this week, ordinarily it would go in the bin, but we know in here you're going to still be able to use it next week and possibly the week after. So you don't need a separate container for every fruit and vegetable that you buy. You just need lots of separate containers for the different breathers. So over here it tells me that some vegetables need to breathe a lot, some need to breathe a little bit, and some don't need to breathe at all. So when I put that vegetable in here, so I could put cauliflower in here and lettuce in here at the same time, because they're both from the same section, and I know that as long as I've got my vent at the top here slid across to the right setting, then they're going to be perfect roommates and they're going to last until they're used. So we use absolutely everything that we purchase. So things like spinach, that you'd normally buy a bag of that and you'd leave it in the bottom of the fridge, within a couple of days that spinach is starting to deteriorate and it ends up in the bin. I know that I can keep my spinach in this container here for absolutely weeks, and we use everything that we purchase. So if you're the type of person that does throw out a lot of fruit and vegetables, we have good intentions. We go shopping and we buy all these beautiful healthy vegetables. If we don't get around to eating it, then our good intentions are left in the crisper and end up spoiling quicker than they should. So there's a couple of rules with our Vent Smarts. You want to make sure that you're buying fresh produce. You want to leave it in here dirty. You don't want to wash it before you put it in here, because that will change the environment. So wash your fruits and vegetables as you're going to eat them, rather than when you're storing them. And lastly is naked. Take all the plastic and the packaging off them. So if you buy cucumbers and they're individually wrapped, then take that off them and pop them in here. Follow the instructions and you're going to be able to use everything that you're purchasing. So they really are a fabulous product. They have beautiful little feet on the bottom, so nothing sits in its own condensation. And also so that when they're all stacked on top of each other in your fridge, the air can circulate all the way through those feet and everything's keeping chilled all at the same time. So I choose to use my crispers down the bottom for other things, important things like wine and chocolate, and then I have these on my shelves because I know that my fruit and vegetable are going to last a lot longer by storing them in here. Or you could take your crispers out and pop these where they were, and at least you know that whatever is in here, you're going to get around to eating it. So I choose to chop all of my broccoli and cauliflower and things like that up into the right size pieces, and that means it's saving me time every day as well. So it takes me an extra 10 minutes to put them away, but it saves me 15 or 20 minutes of prep time every night of the week. And because it's easy and quick, it means that we tend to eat healthier, because more often than not, the reason that we don't eat all of the beautiful things that we've purchased is because of lack of time. So they're really going to save you a lot of money and a lot of time. So that's our first one. As I said, we have sizes for absolutely everything. So, 500 grams of beans is going to fit into this one beautifully. A kilo of mushrooms will fit into this one beautifully. If you're the sort of person that likes to buy mushrooms and then don't get around to eating them, they do spoil very quickly. So take them out of their paper bag or plastic bag, pop them in here, Just look for mushrooms on the front here and match up the vent on top, and they're going to last beautifully. So you will get to use everything. Even things like berries, if you buy blueberries or raspberries, if they don't get eaten, they're quite expensive. It's such a waste to throw them in the bin. So we've got our little ones for things like berries, or half an avocado, half an onion, half a lemon, anything like that can be stored in these ones too. So we really do have a size for absolutely everything. It's a really nice collection with all of those containers. The next thing I'm going to talk to you about is our Clearmates. So our Clearmates are designed to be a deli in your fridge. So anything that you normally purchase from the meat department, the dairy department, the deli department, at the supermarket are to be stored in your Clearmates. So they're a really special plastic that's going to keep all of your proteins fresher for longer. So you come home from the deli, take all of the cold meat out of its paper and plastic packaging and pop them straight into here, and they're going to last for at least 7 days, whereas ordinarily in their plastic bag, after 2 or 3 days, they might end up in the bin. So being able to put things like my cheese slices, my block of cheese, a block of butter in here even, is really fantastic. I love to use this size here for my sliced salamis, ham, bacon, and lots of other bits and pieces. And then we also have in this collection lots of little ones, and you might think, what would I use that for? But there's so many things that I use these size containers for. When you've opened a tin of beans or a tin of spaghetti for breakfast and there's a half a tin left over, then these are the perfect size to be able to store that. And of course, because they're clear, people can see what's in there and it will get eaten rather than pushed to the back of the fridge and forgotten about, and then wasted, of course. So things like olives, semi-dried tomatoes, if you open tomato paste and you don't want to spoil it, pop it into here. This is also a really good one to be able to take yogurt on the go with you for work, because they are liquid tight as well as airtight. So buying yogurt in a 1 kilo tub works out much more economical than buying the individual serves, and then being able to take them with you is fantastic as well. Half a tin of corn. This one here is great for beetroot in your fridge as well. All of those things that would normally, perhaps get some Sad Wrap put on it, or you'd put it into the fridge and it might start to spoil very quickly. So these are designed, as I said, for all of those things, from the deli, the dairy, the meat department, anything chilled, and they're going to store beautifully. You'll notice that they've got little squares on the top here, and then they have matching little squares on the bottom. So when they are all stacked up in your fridge, like a deli in your fridge, really easy to be able to make lunches and breakfasts, bacon, halloumi, those sorts of things in here as well. It means that the air, once again, is circulating all the way around. So the food at the bottom of the container is just as cool as the food at the top of the container, and you're going to get to use all of it. So they're our Clearmates, and they really are an amazing product. Lastly, I'm going to talk to you about this exclusive freezer collection. So what you'll notice here is I have 3 little ice cube trays. Now these are perfect, obviously not just for ice cubes, but you can store stock in here, baby food in here, leftover wine to freeze for recipes or things like that. Very, very easy to be able to get a couple of cubes out. Just give it a little twist and out they pop very, very simply. There's excess lemons at the moment. I know everybody's lemon trees are exploding. So being able to squeeze all of that lemon juice, freeze them in here. Once they're frozen, pop them out and put them into a larger container back in the freezer. And when you need 20 grams of lemon juice for a recipe, it's easy just to grab 2 or 3 cubes out of the freezer, and you've got your fresh lemon juice without having wasted all of those lemons earlier. A little tip, if you do want really clear ice cubes, is always fill your ice cube trays with hot water rather than cold water, and then they freeze really clear. So particularly if you like to have maybe some strawberries or some berries or some mint leaves or something like that when you're making cocktails and you want to be able to see the fruit in your ice cube, pop your fruit or your leaves or whatever it is in here, warm water or hot water, and then they're going to freeze much quicker and also clearer. So you end up with really nice ice cubes for your punch or your cocktails and things like that. Another great use for these is baby food. So I know when my children were really little and just starting to eat solids, I would mash a heap of potato and then a heap of pumpkin and then maybe some broccoli or cauliflower or something like that. Being able to have a tray of each is fantastic, and then just being able to take out a couple of cubes of potato and a couple of cubes of pumpkin and heat that up rather than having to cook baby food every night of the week. So once again, you can freeze them in here, pop them out into a larger freezer container, and then just grab it as you need. So really, really fantastic, and they stack up beautifully, and they've got the feet on the bottom so that they freeze nice and quickly as well. So they are exclusive to this collection. And this is also exclusive to this collection, and this is a freezer container. And what you'll notice, it only has one seal at the top and then 3 separate compartments. So if I bought bulk sausages, I could split that up into 6 or 8 sausages into each of these containers. And then when I wanted to have sausages, I take one tray off. I've got my sausages in here that I'm about to eat. So that one's going to go in the dishwasher, ready to be used again. And now I'm going to put this seal back onto here, ready to go back into the freezer with another 2 serves of sausages. You could do the same with burgers or hot dogs or bacon or steaks or anything that you wanted. And then once you've started using them all, you end up with just the one container in your freezer. Or as you buy more, you can fill it back up and then just pop it back on the bottom and stack them all back up together. So a really great way to be able to store when you're buying in bulk. Mince also, when you're freezing mince, when you freeze it in a flat container, it then defrosts quicker in your fridge. So being able to buy a couple of kilos of mince and separate it up into 3 separate meals is fantastic, and it will defrost really quickly as well because it's flat and rather than in a big ball that sometimes takes a really long time to freeze and then of course a really long time to defrost. Now, all of the collection that I've spoken to you about today, as I said, is our Fridge Fundamental set. Now, you can purchase Clearmates in our range in lots of different shapes and sizes, but these ones here are exclusive. You can purchase Vent Smarts in our range in lots of different shapes and sizes as well, but you can't purchase this collection here. This whole set, our Fridge Fundamental set, is actually our host reward for anybody having their own online or in-home event in the month of July. So if you get some friends together, either online or in home, and with qualifying sales, you can end up with all of this valued at over $400, absolutely free. So for me, purchasing Tupperware, and especially all of this Tupperware, which is amazing, there is a lot of Tupperware here, it's an investment. So if you ordinarily bought Vent Smarts and you spent $150 or $200 on them, if you're saving $20 or $30 a week, then sure, they'll have paid themselves off in no time. But when you get Tupperware free, you're saving money from day one. Now, having an in-home or an online event is simple. If it's online, your consultant will just set up a Facebook page and you invite some friends and they do the rest. If it's in-home, it's a matter of putting the kettle on or popping the cork on a bottle of champagne, catching up with some friends for an hour, and you're going to receive lots of free stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this demo. As I said, you can purchase these two in lots of different collections, but being able to get all of this free and then being able to get these exclusive ones that aren't normally available as part of this collection, it really is the perfect time to have your own in-home or online event. So happy saving, happy storing, and your fridge is going to love you. See you all later. Bye.